I see.
That's gonna be awesome, right?
Because you missed home, we decided to bring some with
Yeah.
you. There we are. You missed the
We're the
chaos.
same thing, by the way.
Yes.
iPads are like crystal meth to my kids.
Man, I wish they would. I wish they would duplicate like triples, man, because they weren't so darn expensive. Well, it's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So tell me a little. You have first off, the film is based on your story.
Inspired by, technically.
Inspired
yes.
by. Okay. So it's not autobiographical, but it was inspired by.
It is, yeah. It's a fictional tale that is inspired. That's inspired by my own story, as well as the stories of many other families that we met along the way.
And that's what I took, because there's something online that basically is it's not the making of it. It's a featurette.
Yes.
So it has you talking with some other foster family parents.
Yep.
So I'm assuming that the movie is basically a conglomeration of all the stories. Is that accurate?
It is, yeah. I met a lot of families along the way in my own experience, and then when we started writing the script, we sat down with a lot of families and got their stories as well.
So the real life version for you personally, how overnight was it? Was it where you and your wife were just talking? And it's like, hey, suddenly.
The setup of the movie was exactly like my experience. That we had. For a long time, we felt like we couldn't afford kids.
They are expensive.
Yeah.
They're expensive.
You guys cost a lot of money, just so you know.
Yeah.
I need Quicken Milk.
Yeah, I know.
And
I'm not saying
Thank you.
we weren't sure if we could afford kids, and then once things were going better for me, I kind of got a movie career that was sort of moving forward, and we were talking about it, and I felt like I was getting a little old, and I said, why don't we just adopt a 5-year-old and be like I got started 5 years ago? And I was totally kidding, but
So that line from the movie really came from your mouth, eh?
came from my mouth, and my wife she considered it after I said it, and then I said I was kidding about that was just a joke, and then we went to a website, and then we went to an orientation, all just like the movie. That all happened.
Really?
Yeah.
And the setup with meeting the surly teen, for lack of a better term, because teens are surly.
Uh-huh.
We've had our experiences with them. Was it very much like that, where you were kind of just talking and not making fun of?
I did not. So our version of that was we didn't adopt a teenager, but we did go to an adoption fair. The teenagers were. This is perfect, by the way. It really is.
This is live. So this is what. So even foster kids, just like this.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, that's a huge point of the movie.
Yeah.
Is that it's just about family in general, kids, family. It's just you got to do that.
Siblings
stuff
do their thing, yeah. And sometimes you guys got to come to work with me.
quit this.
Okay, you can quit that. Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Relax. So how old are the youngest two now?
Well, so just to finish though, we did go to an adoption fair, and we did meet a teen girl at the fair who had 2 younger siblings, and we were ultimately matched with them, and so that's what all of that in the movie was inspired by. And much like the Lizzie character in the movie, this girl had been in care for 4 years at the time, but she was really holding out hope that her mom was coming back for them. So we got a call a couple weeks after we were matched with them, and the social workers called and said it's not going to work out because the teenage girl just doesn't want to go through with it. So they said very matter of factly, but there's these other 3 kids. And those 3 kids became my kids, who at the time.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, who at the time were age 6, 3, and a year and a half.
Wow.
Yeah, and now they're 13, 9, and 8.
What was the first night like when they were home?
A lot like the movie. It was very strange. That moment where Pete calls him in for dinner, and Ellie says, "That sounds so crazy." You saying, kids dinner, that happened.
Here's the cowbell.
Yeah. And just
that neighbor's yard.
There's that funny bathroom scene in the movie that feels like it's just kind of straight comedy, but it's true. You all of a sudden have these kids, and you think, oh wait, we have to bathe them, we have to cut their toenails, we have to put them to bed. Should we kiss them goodnight? Is it weird if we kiss them goodnight? Is it weird if we don't? It's a weird situation to be in.
So when it came to the balancing of the comedy and the drama, was that tricky for you? Because it's obviously kids are a funny situation.
Right.
But when you enter the
Thank you for
foster
saying that.
realm, it could be kind of tricky and emotional because you're going into the deep end as an extent. Yeah. I mean, you're bypassing diapers, yay.
Yeah.
But you have a whole new world of problems.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you're going into. You have these kids that are walking and talking that you're now suddenly supposed to be their parents and you've never been anybody's parent before. So it's a very bizarre, very scary situation. And it's awesome and it's funny and there's so many different things that, there's so many different emotions, but it's really scary and really difficult at first.
And about the film, Instant Family, casting-wise, Tig Notaro, my wife is a huge fan of Tig Notaro. So when I mentioned that Tig was in the movie, she's like, we're going to see it. So we're already going back again.
Yeah.
What was it like casting her? What was it like casting?
Real classy there,
Yeah,
buddy. Real classy.
Thank you for that. Did her experiences with her semi-autobiographical show have any impact in this? Like, did she have any liner notes, like, on kind of doing something close to film that was basically your life?
Wait, I'm sorry, ask me that again about...
With Tig's show, One Mississippi?
Yeah.
That was basically her life.
Right.
Did she have any kind of liner notes with saying, when shooting something this close to your life, do or don't do this or anything like that?
No, I don't think we got into that, honestly. No, not really. But I was a fan of hers and a fan of her show.
She's hilarious.
And but no, I think by the time Tig came to us, we were already pretty far down the road with what the script was and what the movie was at that point. And because we had gotten Octavia signed on, and we were just trying to find that perfect counterpart to Octavia, and we knew that Octavia was going to play it, kind of big and brassy.
Yeah.
And so we were looking for something a little
More sublime.
a little more dry.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then when the idea for Tig came up, it was just perfect, and we were so excited that she wanted to do it. Yeah.
And Mark Wahlberg came to the movie from the Daddies movies. Is that correct?
Yes and no. I mean, that's how I knew him. But I sent Mark a big sort of hard sell email one night, saying how important this movie was to me and how great I thought he would be in it. And he called me right away the next morning, which I did not expect, because Mark's got a lot of choices when it comes
his
to
plate
that.
is very full.
Yeah, exactly. So he called me right away the next morning and said, I'm in. I've met a lot of these kids, over the years, and it's something that mattered to him, and he just was really positive about it from the beginning. And can I just say how awesome you're doing right now?
Yeah.
You're killing it, my friend. Sorry.
You've got the patience of a 9-year-old.
You do.
It's awesome.
Yeah, you're doing really well.
So
Do you have any questions for me?
Charlie, do you have any questions? We prep for this just in case, yeah? Do you have any questions?
Nothing? Nothing at all? Okay.
And last, so when people see the film, you don't want it to be an infomercial about adoption of the foster system.
Right.
But what do you want people, the average moviegoer, to experience in the film and to walk away with?
Well, the reason why I wanted to make a comedy is because so many movies have been made on this topic that are just these gut-wrenching dramas and a lot of them are fantastic, but they tend to just add to the feeling that people have, or the fears that people have about these kids, or the negativity about these situations. And even though every adoption story is born out of some level of tragedy. Happy birthday to you.
Yeah.
Even though these stories come out of some level of tragedy, all of these families that we met with had so many laughs and so much joy. So I wanted to make a legitimately funny, entertaining movie that people could leave having a better feeling about these kids and a better idea of how these families come to be. And that hopefully the next time they hear the words foster care after seeing Instant Family, they'll feel differently than they might right now.
We have some friends who are fostering a couple of kids, and they've echoed some of the frustrations that I've heard about the underbelly of this system. And it's just, it's an interesting world to maneuver when you factor in all the different pieces, the love and the affection, plus, as you said, like the loss and
There's real trauma, there's
trauma.
real loss, and then, it's a pretty broken system. And that's, look, my dream for this movie would be that enough people would go see it, that would get inspired to get involved in the system, and the system could be improved by, because that's the only thing that's ever going to improve the system.
Yeah.
Is more good people.
is enough good people coming into the system as opposed to the people who maybe shouldn't be in the system for the wrong reasons or in there.
Right. And right now, of course, there's both. There's so many fantastic people that are in the system that are working so hard, and then there's, some people that foster kids for a paycheck, and that's not cool. And hopefully we can get more good people into the system.
Very true. I think I have all my talking points, and my kids are about at their. Guys, do you have any questions for Mr. Sean?
I think his only question is when do I get that iPad?
When do I get that iPad? Charlie, do you have any questions where we talked about a director and what a director does in a movie? And he had lots of questions last night, but now he's at 0.
You're going to go to school tomorrow, and you could say, hey, I met a director from a movie.
Yeah.
And they're going to say, what's a director? And you could say,
Say,
he's the guy who bosses everybody around on a movie set. Not impressed? That's okay, never mind.
that was awesome. Thank you for your time. Good luck with the film.
Thank you.
Cool. Guys, what do we say to Mr. Sean?
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Thank you.